What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Great Britain AI only battle. I hope you're enjoying it. Today we're going to push towards turn 300. It depends how long it takes. We may get there today, or we might not. I don't know. It depends. I don't know how fast it's going to go. Normally we would do the results at turn 300, but I think the technology is a bit further behind than normal, probably because we're on a smaller map, less civs, less cities. So we probably will do them at 350 just to make things interesting. But yeah, we'll try and get to 300 today. Regardless, I mean, the Celts have great war infantry, but yeah, I don't know, maybe they will be at the end of the tech tree by the end, but we'll see today, obviously, and make a decision. It doesn't matter too much. We will be going on much further anyway, because it's running nice and quickly. So yeah, we will be going a lot further regardless. We'll fit the results in at some point. Britain has peaced out with Brittany and just died completely. Didn't even know that was close to happening, but boom, Leeds falls to England, Manchester to Wales, so they've got a bit bigger actually, Wales all of a sudden. They did get a settler out, we'll see if that survives and makes it anywhere safely. Wales also did just complete the Eiffel Tower, so there we go. And a new city up here finally, Wrexham, which I think has an X in it, assuming it's the same Wrexham now, but never mind. Doesn't matter too much. We have loads more cities. Finally, Tyrone starting to make use of all this land. The Celts did grab one city. But yeah, Tyrone starting to expand. A lot of new cities for them. Growing very quickly as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. And Norway spamming as many settlers as they can. At the moment in northern Scotland, although the Celts also grabbing new cities. Everyone's starting to settle again. It just took one of them to push the rest in the right direction, I guess. Yeah, you see Norway had plenty. Now you see the Celts have added a couple new ones and have another settler. Where'd it just go? They did have another settler. It just disappeared. Or I can't find it. Maybe they didn't. Oh no, they settled. They settled right here in Inverness. So there you go. 3 new cities for the Celts as well. Scotland have been growing. It looks like there's a chance that the Isles will die to one of these civs, whoever it is. So Lancaster now probably the smallest civ left. Oh no, the Isles are the smallest. Then Lancaster. England pieces out with the Britons. They did not lose anything. Still plenty of damage going on down here. It looks like a lot of Brittany's boats have died. What else have we got going on? Britons. No, England making a bit of a comeback. Obviously they lost. They'd love to have London back, but getting Leeds here. It's a start, but yeah, I don't know what they do next. They've either got to fight the Britons or Wales. Neither of those going to be too easy, but you never know. They might get something done. Scotland pieces out with Brittany. That's not too big. And the Isles has died, and they fall to Tyrone. So there we go. Tyrone now has a city on the, I don't know what it's called, the non-island mainland. Is that Britain? What? No, there's a difference between Britain and the UK that I think includes, I think it's around Northern Ireland. One is with Northern Ireland, one isn't, or maybe it's Ireland and not the rest. I don't know, but I can't remember. It doesn't matter. They have their first bit of land over here on the mainland, we can say, I guess, for this video. That makes sense. Brittany has adopted autocracy, and the Isles actually recovered because they still had some units, although that said, Tyrone took it again less than a turn later, so never mind. That did not last too long. We'll keep a focus on this. This is the main sort of siege right now. The rest is pretty chilled out in terms of the sieges. Apparently Mercia still has a unit somewhere, as do, yeah, there's a few Isles units left, but they don't have any melee units, so they cannot retake their capital, I'm afraid. Sad story for them. But they tried, but that's come to an end. Is there anywhere else on this map? What Denmark? Okay. Finally, they have some caravels. I don't know how they fell behind so badly. It's not like I guess Norway's just got more cities. I don't know, but yeah, you'd have thought. I mean, look, Copenhagen's 21, 13, 11, 14. If they were located like over here on the east coast, you know, this area here, this sort of northeast coast was very open for a long time. If they had those 4 cities along here, you'd think they'd be quite good, but I guess being over here didn't help them. They have pieced out with Lancaster, who is now the smallest remaining civ with their 2 cities between Scotland and Wales. Here? Oh no, wait, what? No, that's England. I was going to say Mercia is still around, but no, that is England, so never mind. That is not the Mercians. Any more Norway settlers just yet? No, not yet. Maybe soon, but not yet. Wales have a fair amount of units. It's hard to tell. A lot of the military seems small. In reality, they're not. They seem to be... I always like think, no, nothing's going to happen, and then boom, Great Britain's just dead. It just happened like that. Didn't even see it coming. England declares war on Lancaster. This is the main war right now, so we'll keep an eye on this. I'm seeing a lot of artillery units. Scotland up there. England as well. So I think we're going to start seeing some quicker sieging. Some better sieges of cities. It looks like Scotland might join in this war as well at some point, so we'll keep an eye out for that. It looks like Britain's settler did die, but they do still have some units sort of hovering around, but obviously we can kill them off if need be in the break. Ooh, Tyrone v the Celts. Interesting. Not sure either side's going to really win this, but oh, do you know what it is? It's this city, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Tyrone's going to conquer this, and then they will have all of Ireland, because they've just covered it in settlers in the last few turns. So yeah, that makes sense. Tyrone is going to be pretty big, but I think they've not really ran away with it, because they were so slow. You know, Wales still looks quite big. These guys are still fairly big as well in the south of England. Scotland looks huge as well now. So I think it's not over. Definitely not. Just the fact that they've settled that will... you know, push them up there. It's going to be pressure on these other civs, but there's going to be plenty more wars to come, don't worry. The Britons complete the Kremlin, and yes, Scotland does now join against Lancaster, but England is about to get Liverpool, so that is another good gain for Henry VIII. Maybe there is still hope for them. Yep, there we go. Just like that, they get Liverpool. They're probably not going to be the main sieger of Leicester, but they do have some great war infantry around, so maybe they could just sneak in and steal it away once Scotland's artillery does most of the damage. Now Tyrone should probably grab that city right this turn, pretty sure. Yeah, probably. But the Celts could definitely make some progress up here, and that would be interesting if they were to do so. I mean, the Celts are no pushovers up here, looking very strong as well. Scotland have got to be careful. But yeah, they're going after Leicester. Another smart move. And I would say, obviously, not including the ones that aren't... I don't know where you'd put Brittany. Looks like not very good because they're about to lose this city. Obviously, I don't think Denmark's doing too well. Norway, I think they could catch up. You know, if these cities come out all really good and they don't fight the Celts, you know, they could still make something. But once Lancaster dies, we are talking about, like, the big boy civs. That's all that remains, you know. But Britons, Wales, England... Scotland, the Celts, Tyrone, they are the big civs. That's all that will remain. There'll be no smaller ones left. All the smaller ones will have been picked off. It's going to come down to the wire here between Scotland. Oh no, Scotland hadn't been, so never mind. Scotland does grab Leicester, so Scotland, another city, 12 population, looking good. Yeah, they're really starting to look good. I mean, there's so much open space here. So few cities for so much land. But yeah, they look really big on the mini-map. Big area of yellow up here. So that's very impressive. I now see England has a land ship as Wales completes the Christo Redentor Wonder. Turn 272. We're about halfway to 3. Well, I can't believe we got to 300 in 5 episodes. That's insane. It means I'm probably going to have to set up a new game like this next week. That's just crazy. This is the fastest game I've ever run, so that does make some sense, and I've been posting every day, so we're obviously going to get a bit further. But you guys have been loving it. We've been getting like 200 views an episode, which is great. Thank you very much for that. Right, what is our next war going to be? We're sort of peaceful right now. Tyrone, yep, they did kick the Celts out. Oh, there is a battle going on here, so we'll keep an eye on this. But we will wait and check, make sure we're ready as soon as something else breaks out. Probably won't take too long. Tyrone trying pretty desperately to hold on to this. Or not desperately, but they are making sure they do try and hold on to it. That's what I should say, but they should be okay to hold on to it. Have plenty of boats here, but so do the Celts. It's going to be interesting. That settler's a bit brave near the war zone. Could get caught in the crossfire. Not really a crossfire, right? Because it's a Celtic unit, so I mean Tyrone would just go for it. I don't know where it's meant to be going though. Like, where are you sending this unit? I guess it could be these islands, this area here maybe. Most tourism. It is now York, which is in England, nowhere near actual York on this map. Cardiff, Edinburgh, Quimper, and Dungannon, or Dungannon, which is the capital of Tyrone. They could do with a canal city here, then they could pump out a load of boats. Not that they need it, but you know, would be kind of cool. The Britons complete Broadway. Well done. They're still around. I feel like they will kill Brittany. That's their next big move. Maybe. Obviously, all Wales now with a load of planes. Technology is ramping up very quickly. Yep, I see English battleship, land ships, planes, artillery, English destroyers, lots of submarines. Scotland not so far ahead, so that's interesting. We'll keep an eye. Norway has just entered the modern era, so they're a bit further behind. It's getting pretty interesting. England v Scotland. Yeah, I mean, that could... Oh, this city's straight into the red. Yeah, we'll watch this. This is going to be quite an exciting one. We'll see how it pans out. But yeah, England could definitely do some damage here. And if Scotland gets weak, you know, the Celts join in, Wales join in, all of a sudden it's just a bloodbath as they quickly disappear. That'd be crazy. Not sure. It might not get that intense, but we'll see. You never know. This game is throwing in just non-stop action. I don't know if it's because there's less civs, less stuff, but there we go. See, straight away they grab this city. That's a big one for England. If they could get Leicester and Lancaster somehow, like if they could get both of these to connect to Gloucester, that would be amazing. They still wouldn't have a land border technically, or land connection, because here is over the water, but it would still, it would look pretty interesting. They'd have Wales, like, they'd cut off Wales from growing. So we'll see what happens. Keep an eye on it. Delegates, world ideology, autocracy. That could probably pass, right? Because there's only 1 or 2 orders, civs. Yeah, there's only 2 orders. In theory, autocracy definitely could win. You never know. Right, England is going to make some progress towards Leicester. Maybe they could do it. They did lose this city, though. But there we go. Oh, no. Wales has attacked England. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be chaotic. All of a sudden, England's on the back foot. It looked like they were doing well against Scotland, but now all their units are up here, and this area is pretty exposed. Hastings and York could be very much exposed to the Welsh. And that would be huge for Wales if they gained some of these cities. They went after Gloucester as well. This could be a huge few turns. Leicester is in the low. There's so much going on right now. It's hard to keep track. Yes, Gloucester does fall to Wales pretty easily. So that's a good pickup from Wales. But obviously you want to see a bit more from them. But Leicester could fall as well. I mean, there's even a world where England takes Leicester. Then Wales takes it off them. And Scotland is still lost out. So it could be very, very hectic few turns ahead of us. That's for sure. Here we go. The Celts. They're going to give... Oh, how are they do? They are still... They're now on the defensive. England and Arthur, which is the Britons, have entered the atomic era. And Leicester and Rowanstall. So these 2 cities fall to them. But then they lose that straight away. And Scotland's military is now turning up. So I think Scotland will begin to turn the tide back in their favour. Particularly with the help of Wales, although somehow England put Manchester very low. A lot of these cities have very low city defence. 62 is not a lot when you think planes can... Yeah, planes can do a lot of damage as well as artillery. 62, I don't know why, just very low city defences. You know, a few hundreds, but that's not great. That's not really great for this stage in the game. So I don't know why. Maybe they're just not building walls and stuff. They do have walls, but I don't know. Maybe they're just avoiding stuff that would help. Manchester did actually fall to England. If England wins this, that would be insane. But surely they're not going to. They do lose Leicester. Back to England. Surely that to Scotland. Surely there's no way England wins this. But at the moment, they're up 1. They've gained Manchester. They retake Leicester again here. It's down to 1 population now. Not so valuable. But it does make the borders look a lot nicer right now when they have Manchester and Leicester. So we'll give them credit for that. And Wales not really doing much. They have all these units and not really sieging anything. Bit concerning. I mean, this city, it's hard to tell because it's already low. But, you know, you'd think they'd have got it. A lot of artillery, though. Not the best unit to have on the front line against tanks and stuff. That is something to bear in mind. But England holds on this turn. I think Scotland will get Leicester back. Yep, that looked pretty inevitable. But they held off Wales again. Hastings has still not even taken any damage. And Tyrone did manage to grab this island. So maybe a sign of what's to come from them out here in Ireland. I see they now have some planes. Ooh, a war with the Britons would be interesting. Which again, not necessarily huge, but it's going to happen just because that city exists, probably. We'll keep an eye on it. Britons do not look too strong. A bit concerned. And what do we got? The Celts retake their city. And the Britons completely Manhattan Project. I believe that's the first one. Scotland and England peace out with nothing changing hands. And England and Wales have now peaced out. So Wales... Okay, England and Scotland, there's no real winner or loser. But Scotland loses because their cities are considerably weaker. Particularly Leicester than when the war broke out. And here Gloucester goes to Wales. But they lose Manchester. So I don't know. That's kind of a no-winner, but for us as a viewer it is a win because the borders look a lot nicer now. So that's how we look at that one. Denmark has finally picked an ideology. They also went autocracy. Not really a surprise. Pretty common at this point for the Civs in this game. So good job. Now we wait for the next major chaotic war to break out as the Celts continue to settle more stuff. They could have had all of this so much earlier and it would have been so much better by now, but they just let Norway have it and didn't seem too interested. It's very frustrating, but there we go. At least now they're getting some stuff done. It's prompted them to be a little bit better. It's going to be a very interesting Info Addict look at the end of today because how many civs are left? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the main sort of 2 islands. And then there's the 3 outsiders, Norway, Denmark and Brittany. So there's 9 civs left. So being 5th place is actually bottom half. That is what, yeah, because 4.5 would be sort of the middle point. So if you're 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th, that's kind of last. And then top 4 is good. But there we go. It doesn't matter too much. We'll have an interesting... I mean, I think Denmark and Brittany are considerably lower than the others anyway. And then Norway possibly as well, a bit off the pace. But it's going to be quite interesting to see who's the best of the rest. Where does Scotland fit in? Tyrone is probably doing really well, but they weren't always, so some of the statistics won't reflect it. Wales has now also completed the Manhattan Project. The Isles have denounced the Britons. Interesting. Any more settlers? There's a few islands still left. There's some space out here. Definitely some more space at the very top of Scotland. Where else is there space on this map? There's a bit here. Definitely a bit here for a city. In this tile here would be a great place to settle just because it would be really hard to get boats in to conquer it. Even like here you could still squeeze one in, or on this island. On this island here. Definitely still Tyrone could probably get a couple more on there. Brittany could fit more in, although Wales is about to do that for them actually. Isle of Wight, I mean, no. Here Kent is just completely open for no reason at all. They've just ignored it. But fair enough. Brittany with a bit of space. Maybe someone comes and settles next to them. I'm sure they would not be impressed with that. Denmark's mainly full. They could put another city like internally, but no one else can. And again, yeah, there's not really any space in Norway either, who now have their own planes. Finally. Good job, Norway. Yeah, I think we'll do the results at 350. I think this one's heating up. By then, there may only be a couple of civs left, though. Already down to 9. Are we going to get another big war? Next 11 turns? What are we thinking? It is slowing down. I feel like next time... I don't know. It's only 20 minutes. I guess we could still make it. We'll probably go to 350 next time, then do the results, you know, and you know how it is. All the usual stuff, and then we'll do the episodes where I show you what's happened after. Although, like I said, I think we'll be able to go a bit further than usual. Much quicker as well this time. Scotland declares war on the Celts. That is interesting. We'll keep an eye on this one. Very bold. Scotland is... They must have a good rail network because they are moving their units up. They moved their units up the country pretty quickly after getting them back down. They were up here, probably planning to attack the Celts. Then England invaded them, so they had to rush back down south. And now they're all back again. But yeah, this could be interesting. The Celts... It's been fighting Tyrone a little bit, maybe a bit weary. So, interesting move from Scotland obviously it could all backfire as well. They could lose. That would not be good. Well, these boats are in trouble. That was not a good first opening move, but there we go. Whatever, Scotland, we'll let you off the hook today. Why does Denmark's turn take the long... Oh, they go last. Okay. Going last makes you the slowest. I don't know why. I guess it's just all the stuff catching up. Here we go. Scotland's turn. Go on. What are you going to give us? What are you going to do for us this turn? Not too much, but it looks like they will target Douglas first. I mean, there's sort of 4 Celtic cities within sort of easy... Not easy, but within range. Iona over here. Aberystwyth. This one's a bit obviously tucked away behind these two, but again, it's pretty accessible. And Douglas. The rest of them a bit further away. Wouldn't imagine Scotland would get to those at the first time of asking. And yep, the Celts completely wrecked those boats. Not what Scotland would have wanted. Obviously, Scotland have got to be careful. I mean, Wales could still definitely go after them. And we are going to see England v the Britons. And London looks very exposed right now. This could be big. England, I love it, this English AI. It's just, like, it's had a few defeats. Like, it's lost some cities. I mean, it lost London, which it wasn't its capital because they started up here because there was the original England here. But, you know, they've lost some stuff and they just keep trying things. They're not giving up. They're just like, yeah, we'll give this a go. Wales might invade us halfway through again, but why not give it a go? Now, the Britons do move in some good defence pretty quickly, which is always important. But as you see, England... He's going to try and make light work of that. Norway now joins in against the Celts. Now, Tyrone is obviously still in here as well as Scotland. And Norway has a fair few units. So the Celts starting to get dragged about. They're going to have to deal with lots of Norwegian stuff crossing the North Sea. It's going to get very messy for the Celts here. And yeah, this city is almost definitely going to fall to Tyrone. Unless a Scottish unit just gets there quicker. So that's interesting. And Tyrone settled here. Not quite where I recommended, but fair enough. And they're probably going to get another city too. And that is one of the funniest city names we've probably ever had. Just Muff. Great. Is that a real place? Probably somewhere in the UK. There is a town called Muff. Kilrea. They've added a lot of new cities. Derry, Fintona. Yeah, anything under 10 pop is new. Ardbo. Yeah, they got all of the, I mean, this one's new and it is at 10 pop, so they've just added a lot Tyrone. They may be looking very good in 5 turns time. And yep, they did settle here as well. And here, so Tyrone filling up. The map's going now. There is little space left. Still Kent is available. Not sure why it's not so desired. I don't know. There's cotton, which is a luxury. I mean, that's at least something. You know, we can't see the strategic resources, but you'd imagine there's at least some horses. Maybe not any iron, but horses, you know, an oil or a coal or something. Just there. Can't imagine it being completely empty. Right. Denmark's turn is taking a long time. What are you doing, Denmark? What is going on? Why are you struggling? They've probably ran out of space or something. Although they do now have access to the deep sea. And there we go. England does fall to... Oh, sorry. London falls to England. So England is on the comeback here. They've grown a lot. I mean, they added Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds. I believe... Oh, Scotland did citadel them, which is a bit annoying. But Leeds, Liverpool, and London in this episode alone. So that's pretty good. And I mean, that's what? That's 46 population in total across those cities. So that's pretty good. Definitely a good spell for England. Iona here has fallen to Tyrone, and they've also settled another city. Norway is fighting the Celts, as is Scotland. It's going to get very messy up this way. Will England be going after more stuff? Probably not. As you see, the Bretons actually retake London. They now have mobile SAMs. The technology is scaling up very quickly here. But there we go. The Bretons, we'll see. Or Britain, sorry. Brittany is the Bretons. These are the Britons. It's very confusing. But there we go. London does fall back into England's hands again. I have no idea what the order is for the top 9. If I was going to hazard a guess, I think Denmark is behind Brittany, although saying that, the Britons have taken this. I think Denmark is behind still. They have worse technology, so I'll say Denmark 9th, Brittany 8th, Norway 7th, 6th place, I am going to say... I have no idea. The Britons. 5th, we'll say Scotland, just because I think they weren't good at the start, so some of the stuff like technology maybe still a bit behind. I might be completely wrong with this. 4th, I'm not even sure the Celts deserve to be 4th, to be honest, but again, like, if you're good at the start, there are some categories where that picks you up points early on. 3rd, I would then say England right now. I don't know, England or Wales, like, tied 2nd, 3rd. I think one of them, they're going to fight each other big time at some point. And at the moment, you'd have to fancy England because they keep winning, whereas Wales are not doing too much. And then Tyrone probably is winning right now. I don't know. Has thrown a guess out there. Tyrone is winning, but again, it depends. Some of their stuff is quite new, so maybe they're not so good. London falls to the Britons. England should, yep, get it straight back. It'd be great if England could hold on to this. It does come with a lot of land. Are any Celt cities close to dropping? Rennes here could fall. No melee units. Actually, no, Norway's here, so that's a complete lie. Norway could get this. It would be Tyrone doing all the work, but Norway could add the island. And Scotland not... Okay, they're starting the Siege of Douglas, but that will be a turn 350 sort of thing. That's when that will be important. Delegates, Crab, International Games, no. Right, here we go. Turn 300. We'll do the info addicts. This will be quite a long episode, but that's absolutely fine. We made it to 300. It's all good. Scotland is not... Oh, no, they've still got a turn. But, yeah, I don't think they'll get this anytime soon. You can see a lot of Celts units. Do repel a few of those units there, but, yeah, I think it's going to be a while before they get into that city. Okay, what is next? Brittany could be in trouble here. The Britons doing well to fight them. Very brave. They're just sort of leaving England and hoping they don't get over here. And right, we'll have a look at the info addicts. Here we go, turn 300. There is Tyrone skyrocketing. That is actually Scotland still in 2nd on score. But here we go, population. Tyrone now leads the way at 71 million, ahead of England at 68. The Britons at 56. I think England would have won if they'd have held on to London the first time. They probably would have led that category, but they lost it and it's dropped down to 1. The Britons at 56 million, Scotland 45 million, and Wales sit there at 38 million. Crop yield is again massively now led by Tyrone. Then it's the Britons, England, Scotland, and the Celts. Is Wales going to be like 6th every time? That would hurt. Tyrone now has the most production. Yeah, they're really starting to kick into gear. Then it's the Britons, Scotland, Wales, and the Celts. England's still really struggling for production. Biggest economies, again, Tyrone, Scotland, the Britons, England, and the Celts. Land, Tyrone, Scotland, the Britons, England, Wales. Military manpower is Tyrone. The Britons are doing much better. I put them like 6th. I'm wrong. They are like 2nd right now. Wales, England, and Scotland. Social policies, the Britons and Scotland tied in the lead, then England, then the Celts, then Wales. That's one of those ones where Tyrone's a bit behind, although they're right there on 19. Technologies, the Britons lead the way on 63, then England at 61, Wales 59, 58 for Scotland and Tyrone. Science, no, sorry, not science. Number of cities, Tyrone has 33, which is twice as much now as the Celts. That is a bit concerning for the other civs. The Britons on 10, Norway on 10, Scotland on 8, as well as England. Science output, Tyrone's leading the way ahead of the Britons, Wales, England, and the Celts. Culture is led by Scotland, then it's Tyrone, the Celts, the Britons, and England. Wonders, Scotland still double as much as Tyrone, then it's the Britons, England, Wales, all on 4. Treasury is not too important. Yeah, we don't look at faith. Great works, that is not great works. There we go. Great works, Scotland, the Britons, Celts, Tyrone, and then England. Trade routes, 7 for Norway, Scotland, Tyrone, Wales, and the Celts. We won't use that in the results, if I remember correctly. And tourism, the Britons lead the way. Then Scotland, England, Tyrone, and the Celts. And I think religion-wise, I'm guessing Protestantism is still dominating pretty well. Yeah, 36 cities, the rest, no one in double digits. So there we go, Scotland's religion still doing very well. But that will be it for today's video. Apologies for it being a little bit late. But you know, you're still getting it. It's fine, in reasonable time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.